Let's chat. Oh my gosh. Hello, hello, hello. So last time you saw me on video, I was dying sick and I had brain fog and I didn't even know what I was saying. So I apologize for the welcome live stream. It was the best that I could do, but I was doing it, but I was majorly not feeling good. It was really awful. So what happened I kind of explained is we had the CC retreat and the summit in the same weekend, and then I got sick for a week. Like, so many people got sick. So that's what happened. And I was sick, and it was like the flu plus brain fog. If you ever got that, it's like you can't even think and you're trying to think. It's the worst feeling ever. So this is kind of like the welcome as well. I'm feeling a million times better. I am so excited for this session of Courageously Confident. I'm so excited. Hello, Ashley just jumped on. This is a very special session. A lot of people, whether you're new, whether you're alumni, whether you've been doing this program, for some of you, April is your year anniversary in Courageously Confident, and that is the most incredible thing in the entire world. I can't even believe that that's a thing. So wherever you are in your journey, whether it's an anniversary, whether you're brand new, whether you've been in this for months now, I am excited that you're here. I'm excited that you're showing up, and being part of this program is important. Going to the gym is great. Being consistent is great, but showing up for these trainings is just as important, because this is truly a lifestyle program, a lifestyle shift, and showing up and working on your mindset, showing up as part of the community, being part of the conversation is going to help you in all aspects of your life. And that's really the goal for me as your coach, and the goal I hope for you being in this program. Working on your mindset is so important. Working on your body is so important, but we need to have a balance of both. Okay. So I know a lot of you have done these mindset trainings with me before, whether it's in CC or in CC Lifestyle. So you kind of know the vibe of them. If you are on live and you can participate and comment in the chat box. If you want to chat live, you can just say, hey, I want to talk. It's easier for you to say what you want to say. Very interactive, very much here for you. Compared to other sessions, there's going to be more of these throughout the month. And they're going to not just be focused on fitness and body image and confidence. It's going to be focused on all kinds of things that may not be related to the gym. So I'm very excited for that. I want you guys to know that I'm open to ideas and topics that are coming up for you that you want to have conversations and trainings around. So anything that's coming up for you, post it in the group and say, hey, I'm wondering, this is a topic. I'd love to talk about it. Or if things come up during one of these calls, just comment and say, hey, I'd love to talk about it, okay? So number one is congratulations for being here live. Congratulations if you watch the replay, and watch the replays. Watch the freaking replays. I do this for a reason. I record them for a reason. I post them for a reason. This is part of you showing up for yourself. And that is leading into what we're going to talk about today is qualities of a CC woman. And these qualities are going to relate to your gym goals and your body goals and your fitness goals, but they're going to relate to your life goals. Samantha says, I watch the replays again and again. It's like you just need to put it on. You don't even need to watch it. It's like listening to a podcast. That's really, if you just put it on and listen to it, that's all you need to do. So I love it. That's amazing. So sometimes you don't get some stuff. That's very true. That's very true. So right now, if you're live in the chat box, what comes up for you when you think, like, what is a courageously confident woman? What does it mean to be courageously confident? Yes, Laura agrees. You never know what you pick out again. It's like you listen to a training once and then you listen to it a week later, you pick up completely different things because you're in a different space. So listen to them again. You get to save them. You bookmark them. Katie says, knowing what you want, being decisive. Yes. Ashley says, doing the things even though it's scary and you're not sure of the outcome. Absolutely. A woman who knows herself and listens to her gut. Yes, I love that. I've been talking about intuition a lot lately, so listening to your gut. I think a woman who is secure in herself and who is courageously confident. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to post a graphic later on in the group. So the first thing is when you think of courage, you think of doing something courageous, doing something even though you're kind of scared. You're like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do it. That's what courage is. So the first part of being courageously confident is making or being courageous. So doing something like you all joined this program at one point, you were like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm spending all this money on this program. What if I don't show up? Or what if the program sucks? Or what if I go to the gym and I hate it? And you're like, you're just terrified. But you all did it. If you're watching it, you all did it. You all took courageous action. So you took courageous action towards your health and your fitness and your mindset and being in a community. So think of how you can be courageous in other aspects of your life. So think of things that you want to do, that there's fear there, but you should still do it even though you're scared. Do you guys see the post that I just put in the CC community? I said, there's always going to be fear. There's always fears. There's always unknown. There's always aspects of us being uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do the thing or we should wait until there's no fear. There's always going to be fears, right? So exactly, Samantha says, got to do it even when we fear so much that we may shit our pants. That just might be it, right? So think in other aspects of your life where maybe you can show up a little more courageously. Let's bring examples into right now into the gym. A lot of people start off CC and are like, I know it's in my plan, but I'm not going near the squat rack. I'm not doing squats, nuh-uh. Because there's still fears. You still signed up for the program, but you might have fears around certain exercises. So think of like where in your fitness plan in the program that you're like, I'm scared to do this, so I'm not doing it, but I know I just need to try and do it. Right? And same way, if right now things are coming up in your life, like things you want to do, but you're kind of afraid, whether it's something to do with work, whether it's, a relationship issue, a conversation you need to have with someone, where can you be courageous that on the other side, most likely it'll feel better if you just do it. It won't be as scary if you just do it, right? We live in fear so much that we need to step into courage. So this is so, so important. And I say this a lot in my own life and I share my own experiences. Like I'm constantly doing things that push me out of my comfort zone and make me scared. Because anytime we do something new, it's going to be scary because it's new and it's uncomfortable. So there's nothing wrong with feeling scared. It's about pushing through it and knowing the difference. Then after we do it, exactly, we notice it was so much easier than we thought. So being courageous is part of it. Let's just be courageous, right? So when we are courageous, it means that we've consciously decided to do something. And that's where decisiveness comes in a lot. And some of you who did CC Lifestyle were saying, Katie said being decisive. So who here is a woman who, if it's the norm that you're like, maybe I should do it, or like, maybe not, or maybe, yeah, I should do it, or like, I don't know, if you take like 300 weeks to decide if you're going to do something. Or, when you're going on a date and the guy's like, where do you want to go to eat? And you're like, well, I kind of want to go for like chicken, but like maybe we should go in like blah, blah, blah. And it's like takes you like 25 hours to make a decision. Story of my life, Samantha says. I'm less wishy-washy now, Laura says, but definitely have been there. And that's growth, 100%. Matta says, yes, my husband always gets annoyed at me for doing that. So I believe that we already know what we want. Like we know what we want. When we're faced with a decision, like, do you want this or do you want this? We instinctively, we know like, okay, I want this. But we feel like we're not confident or comfortable enough to admit it. So it feels safer to go back and forth, right? Erica says, I'm definitely the type to talk things out, but I am trying to be way more decisive. So this is where I would love to, and I wasn't even planning on diving a little bit on your intuition. Like, I believe if Eric was to say, Steph, do you want McDonald's or do you want Wendy's? Like, in that moment, I would know which one I want, but I would just be like, let's think about it for 20 minutes. But I would know. When you're faced with like a harder decision on like, should I go to the gym or not go to the gym when I'm a little bit tired? I believe you intuitively know. It's a harder decision, but you intuitively know what you should do. But we like to sit and think and drag things out because it feels more comfortable. Imagine if we just decide to do something a little bit quicker, like make the choice faster, how much easier it is on us mentally. And we just go and do it. Whether it sucks or whether it's amazing, we just go and do it. And that's what it is. I think it's the fear of making the wrong decision or the one that disappoints other people for me, just says. Yeah, it could be. And the more you drag it out, the more excuses comes up. Exactly. Who here has ever watched or listened to or looked up Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up, start walking, and make your decision. It helps people get out of bed. It walks people through, oh my God, yes, everyone's like freaking out, Mel Robbins. It has helped people get through depression, like real serious things, the 5-second rule. So if you're laying in bed and you're like, I don't want to get up, you count backwards, 5 to 1, and then but the key is you need to literally start moving your body at 1 for you to get up and go, and you'll do the thing. What I found helped me a lot from CC Lifestyle was to see what aligns most with my goals. Ooh, I love that. Ashley says I do that countdown all the time. It's powerful. It's really like you're wiring your brain to get up and go. You wire your brain to get up and go. So something that I'm really good at is creating habits and being consistent in my life. So the habit of me going to the gym, boom, I don't even have to think about it. Like I just know I do it. So if you are working on creating a habit, relating it to the gym now or relating it to something that you want to do, is creating the habit of just doing it. So if that means like, oh, now you have to get up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym, it's like alarm goes off, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start moving, and you just go. The more you overthink it, like Katie said, if you sit and overthink it, you think, well, maybe I'll get a half an hour more sleep, which means I'll be more alert at work. And then you start to like think of like all these things as to why you shouldn't go, right? So being decisive and being intuitive at the same time is going to create magic for you in making decisions and being consistent and having these awesome habits that you don't even have to think about. You just do it. Like imagine the next level version of yourself as the woman who just, it's second nature to you. You just go to the gym. You just get up and you go to work and you rock it. You just go and you just own the things you do and you don't overthink it. Exactly. Alexa says we miss out on so many opportunities when we take too much to decide. So if you just decide, then this is maybe something you can think about and journal on, is what are the things that you know that you want to do in your life? Like you want to be a healthy woman. You want to be a woman who's consistent in her health and her habits. Then your decisions have to align with those like non-negotiables, what I call them. So if you want to be a healthy and fit woman, if you want to be a successful woman, if you want to be an independent, whatever it is, creating actions and habits and consistency with those things to lead to those goals. Think of where you want to be. Where are you now? Where you want to be? So really align, like what are habits and things in your life that you know you want to hold yourself consistent to, and just own it and do it and don't overthink it. We hold ourselves back. I believe it's like a coping mechanism. We hold ourselves back by overthinking because we don't have to get up and move. Because what happens if we get up and move and then it sucks, right? I'm just muting someone here. We'd rather overthink than actually take action. Let's start being the women who take more action for what we want to happen in our lives. That's powerful, and that creates commitment and consistency. So commitment, what are things right now in your life that you can say like, I am committed to? You are committed to, you are consistent with. What are things that you're committed to? For me, it's the gym. It's my business. And the three main things are the gym, my business, so my health, my business, and my relationship. Ashley says fitness, gym, sleeping, yes, healthy eating, fitness, my fiance, my job. See, we all have these things that are like, well, duh, that's your life. It's usually like the biggest things in your life that consume your life, that take up your time, your energy, the things that you're committed to. So when you think something like a job, like you need to have a job to exist and make money and all the things, you've created, you know how to make consistency in one thing, you know how to make consistency in another thing. But when something new comes, like the gym, maybe it's new for you, okay, it's like starting over again. It's like, how do I create this habit again? How do I create consistency again? So maybe that means, and this can be a lot of you, oh no, okay, I was never going to the gym before, and now I've got a plan in front of me that is telling me to work out 6 days a week. You're like, ha, no way. So this is what you do. You start with something that's really attainable. So would 3 days a week make sense? Maybe from 0 to 3 makes sense, and is more easier for you to accomplish than 0 to 6, like right away, right? So that's the power of CC, and the vibe I give off is if 3 days works for you, then rock your 3 days, and maybe in a month that's going to turn to 4 days or 5 days. So start off where it makes sense, so you're not like burnt out on week 1 and then you're like, I'm never going back. That was awful. Right? So build your consistency, build your habits, so it makes sense for you. Intuition-based goals and success. Yes, that's why I love CC. Lindsay says, exactly. Because 6 days might just not be realistic for you in your life, and that's okay. And it might not even align with your fitness goals. Maybe you don't want to work out 6 days a week. Maybe you're like, a really healthy way for you would be 4, and you can still do it in 4. So the ways that you can break it up is just still follow the schedule and make the weeks longer. Does that make sense? So like week 1 is not 6 days. It's actually maybe 7 or 8 or 9 because you decided to take more rest days. That's a good way to do it. Absolutely. And because we're only a week in, and we'll get into more of this as we go, a lot of you might ask like, well, more physical goals, like your goal is to lose weight or your goal is to really tone up, then I would say, okay, then omit the cardio day or omit the full body day and only focus on upper and lower body days if you really want to build the strength and that kind of thing. If you really want to work on like weight loss and stuff like that, when you get into the HIIT week and stuff like that, that's when you can prioritize the HIIT training and the cardio and minimize the strength. So depending on where you're at in your journey, but right now, consistency is key with following the plan, because the only way to assess your results is by being consistent with something for a long-term plan. So for example, I did a phase of over 3 months of powerlifting style. It was 3 months. That's not really a long time in my brain, but to some people, they're like, oh my God, 3 months. So remember too that results take time. Results don't always happen in a month. You might see beginner gains. Has anyone heard of beginner gains, newbie gains? You're like, week 1, I'm so fit. And then week 2, you're like, okay, where are my results? You might see that. And we'll talk about that as they come up. Samantha says, and I thought 3 days a week was intense lately. I'm doing some of the workouts for 3 and the other days at home. Mind blown how much more I'm getting into the habit of it and making more choices to pick up some weights at home and such rather than being kind of lazy, right? And if you can do it at home, then do it at home. Do what you can. And doing what works for you too. Like if you have dumbbells at home, okay, what can I do at home? What can I modify at home? And okay, I have to maybe omit some things, and that's fine. Doing what you can because it makes you feel good is number 1. But I also have the side of me that's like, don't just do it because it's easier to do it. Like actually push yourself and grow. We are strong. We're humans. We can actually take on a lot more than we think we can. So don't be afraid to push yourself in a safe way, in a way that's like, where can I challenge myself? Fitness to me in the gym, going to the gym allows me to bring more struggle into my life. This is a huge part as to why I work out, because it brings struggle into my life. And I believe that life is really easy for us right now. We have life pretty good. Like we're all on a computer or a device right now, all over the world hanging out. Like we got life pretty good. So I believe we need to bring more struggle into our life. And a good way to do that is through strength training and building that mental resiliency. Laura says, I love the flexibility of the program. Some days I prefer to be at home, but other days I want to use a cable machine, so I'll go to the gym. I love the customization given. Absolutely. Ashley says, I made your CCC program that was for 3 months into 4.5 and still saw progress. Totally agree. It's not all about making things fit for your life and not getting overwhelmed. Absolutely. Like there comes to a point where it's like, I'm all in. I'm going to be the fit girl. I'm going to be perfect. This is my life. And then you realize that fitness is part of your life, but it doesn't have to be your entire life. And then you actually realize, like Ashley said, she lengthened it from 3 to 4.5 months, and you still see results. You don't have to go crazy ham to see results. You just need to put in work and make every session count, make every rep count, make everything count, right? My daughter is even doing a bunch of the workouts with me. Oh, that's amazing. She wanted to use my 12-pound weights. Got her started on much lighter though. I love that, Samantha. Erica says that definitely makes me feel a lot better about it all. I've been wanting to incorporate more hot vinyasa in my weekly routine, so working out nearly every day was a little overwhelming. And absolutely, and something like hot vinyasa is like, you can replace your cardio day and your full body day with hot vinyasa, because that's a cardio workout and that's a full body workout. So if you're someone who still likes to do, certain classes or other things, still do that. This isn't about saying you must only do CC for the rest of your life and you must only follow this. It's about strength training. It's about building strength. It's about still doing this, but it's not about ignoring other parts of your fitness journey that you love. All for the yoga, all for anything that makes you feel good. And as you do this at least once, you're going to see how easy it is to be flexible in the routines, how easy it is to split things up, how easy it is to modify things. You're going to realize when you need to take a week off, it's okay, and you go back and it's fine, right? You're going to realize and learn a lot more mentally sometimes than you realize. It's not just physical, it's the mental struggle again of like, oh my God, what if I'm the only one who's only going 3 days a week? It's not like that, and we're all in CC, but we're all on our own journey. So it's like being part of something, but you're still doing it in a very independent way, a way that feels good for your life, and owning that, right? So love that. Love this conversation about how flexible it can be. So confident woman, you are courageous. You make intuitive and decisive decisions. Commitment and consistency is part of reaching your goals. And you're focused on creating habits and accomplishing your goals. So, and aligning your habits with your goals. So right now, for this round of CC, what would be, for those of you on live, your goals? Is it just to show up and do X amount a week? Is it to be really interactive in the group? Is it to maybe it's a PR of a certain exercise. Maybe it's to learn form of a better exercise. Maybe it's to finally be part of a community and participate more. Like, they don't have to be number specific goals. It could just be the way you show up, right? So think about whether you know them now, or think about like, what are my goals? What are your intentions over the next 3 months inside this group? And for yourself, like I said, I don't call you every morning and say, hey, have you gone to the gym? That's a you thing. That's an independent woman thing. Lindsay says, show up 4 days a week, be active in the community, and be in integrity with what I have told myself I would do. 1,000,000%. I love it. Samantha says, definitely to show up more than the last round and to be more consistent at the gym. I'm learning as much as I can about strength training, gain confidence, and get stronger. My goal this time is to be more consistent and get my nutrition in check. Yes. And Lindsay is going to love this, and Viola's not on live, but this is totally a Melanie and Layer thing to say. The way you do one thing is usually the way you do all the things. So the way you show up for your health and your fitness is most likely how you show up for your relationships, and how you show up for your job, or how you show up for other goals in your life. So think about how you can create these incredible habits, not just in the gyms. Oh yes, Samantha's a Melanie girl too, right? Like, how do we want to show up for ourselves? Do we want to be lazy? Do we want to be inconsistent? Do we want to be like here but not really here? No, we want to show up. Consistent and show up. I definitely want to show up for myself better. I go through waves, and I want it to be less of a wave and more of all the time. Yes, preach. Focus on lifting heavier. Amazing. Just as I've already noticed a huge difference in my energy and even my desire to eat healthier foods. Yeah. So when we start to be more active, sometimes our hunger cues change, and what we want to eat changes, because we're like, oh, I'm being healthy in the gym, and now actually I want to fuel my body differently and feel good, not just when I'm moving, but what I'm putting in my body. Katie says it's true. Being in this program is making me better at my job, not just in my fitness. So it was the second session of CC, like a very, very long time ago now, like not even that long ago. Someone built up the confidence from the gym workouts to quit her job, and she landed a way better position just from building that confidence in who she is. It's huge. That's why balance is something I really want to manage in my life. Yeah, the balance of it all. The balance. Like the balance of I was totally sick. I went from a party CC weekend to being completely out for a week, and now I'm like back at it. And it's all balance. There's a time and place to rest. There's a time and place to go hard. There's a time and place for all of it. And all of it is okay, and all of it is part of life. We don't have to feel guilty. We don't have to feel bad. What we do, though, is have to be self-aware and know the difference between being lazy and the difference of saying, like, my body really, really needed to rest, right? That self-awareness is key, because it's so easy to say, like, oh, I just needed to rest, and then that turned into like a month of rest, and that doesn't make sense, all right? So being self-aware, not being hard on yourself, but saying like, oh, I didn't show up well, or I didn't, go to the gym. Well, why? Was that an excuse? Could I have went and then still did the other things? A lot of us are trying to balance social life and now going to the gym. All of a sudden you have to tell people, sorry, that's my gym time, but I'll meet you after. You can do both. You don't have to say one or the other is gone. You can do both. You can make things. You can go to the gym and then go have a burger. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. It's about finding the balance that feels good for you. But again, always coming back to your goals, coming back to, and lately I've been asking myself this question in everything, whether it's health related, business, relationships, is doing what I'm doing or what I'm going to decide to do, is it aligning with my goals, reaching my goals in the future? And if it's like, yes, then I'm like, okay, I want to do it. And if it's like, that's definitely not, then I'm like, okay, then maybe I shouldn't do it. Right. I had a cheesecake binge night recently. No shame. Just picked myself up and moved on, and realizing my body doesn't even crave much sugar right now. Such a huge change from your past behaviors. That's huge. So asking yourself, does this align with my goals? And sometimes this all relates back. If you're faced with a decision and then you say, okay, well, which one aligns with my goals? It comes back to making confident, decisive decisions. It comes back to being courageous, because sometimes that decision that we know we need to make is scary and uncomfortable, but it aligns with our goals. So see how it all comes back. All these pieces relate, whether it's in life, whether it's in the gym, whether it's fitness related or not. So thinking about goals is so important, especially for those people who thrive off of having specific goals and writing things down. If you're that person, then write your goals down, look at them, make kind of a plan, schedule your workouts, schedule the things that you're doing, schedule the things that you need to do, but also come back and remind yourself of who you need to be to make that happen. We all know what we have to do to get to where we want to be. It comes down to like, oh my God, now I have to be consistent. Oh my God, now I have to prioritize these things. Oh my God, right? That's the hard part. That's changing a habit, which is hard. That's where accountability comes in. Very, 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 very important. And you know what? This community and a lot of people, even though as high vibe and open as this community is, what happens sometimes is people stop posting in the group because they feel like, oh, well, I didn't go to the gym today, so I can't post. This group is about being like high vibe and positive and celebrating what we do, but it's also saying, oh my God, I fell off the wagon for a week, but I'm declaring that I'm back in. So it don't ever feel like, oh, if I post something and it feels negative, like you're afraid to post it. Showing up for yourself in this CC vibe means sharing how you feel genuinely and being open about what you're feeling. That's the space that I want to create. And so when we get into the vibe of thinking like, oh, I can't share this because like I bet you a million times if you share it, someone can relate to you, or sharing it will just allow you to feel better, right? So don't feel like every post needs to be, like, look at me, I accomplished this. If one day it's like, I'm feeling this way, It's okay. You know, I run and I'm in masterminds with women. Like Lindsay's in one of the masterminds with me. And it's like, we go in this chat and it's so high vibe, but it's also like, oh my God, I'm feeling really off. Can you help me? And that energy of the sisterhood and community of people saying like, oh, this is maybe what you're going through is so powerful. So treat it as a place to show up, good and bad and all the feelings. I did that twice in the last session, pick myself up and keep moving. Yeah, so much support and push through from each other. Yeah. So like, this is life. It's not perfect, right? So I don't expect us to all show up perfectly. I love to see effort, and I love to see, you know, when you show up and are honest with yourself. I so often have those fears, Samantha says, of sharing, then realize no one looked down on me about it. It's my ego made me think others don't see us as harshly as we see ourselves when mistakes happen. Absolutely. We're afraid of admitting it. It's more so we're afraid of admitting it to yourself. Like the moment you post it and it's on Facebook, and even if it's just in the community, you're like, that was real. But I guarantee no one is looking at you saying like, oh, that was her second time this month. Like no one is doing that, right? It's such a fun and laid back community, but it's also like, I always say, I'm the balance of respecting yourself, but also the being self-aware. And I want you to reach goals. And if you've got body goals, if you've got weight loss goals, if you've got crush the gym goals, I'm here for it and I want to hear about them. But if you're like, oh no, like you're more of like, I just want to show up for myself 3 times a week, I'm here for those goals too. So a little thing is I started off CC whenever it was like 2 years ago, thinking like, we're never going to show pictures of ourselves. We're never going to talk about numbers, because at the time, that's what I believed. But I'm also in a place right now where if you want to measure yourself and weigh yourself, all the power to you. If you want to track your calories, amazing, do it. And that's a very personal thing. So if you want to share progress pictures, like look at my muscles or look at this, or I accomplished this, it's all for it. And that's a misconception. I think a lot of people think coming into CC like, oh, we don't share those things. I want to change that. I want it to be, if you want to share it, you share it and own it. And if you don't want to share it, you don't have to. We don't expect you to. It's one of those things. It's very personal. But there's nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with doing it or not doing it. And that's part of being confident and being independent in what you want to do, and knowing that your goals and the way you show up in your fitness journey is going to change over time. Like maybe you're going through a phase where you're like all in and recording everything, but in a year from now, your fitness journey, you're still doing fitness, but maybe not as strict, or not measuring things, or not, having specific body goals or whatever, right? So allow yourself to go through flows of what fitness looks like for you, what fitness feels like for you in your life. And it relates to everything. I felt like that for a while too, because of overcoming my ED issues and body image issues that I used to obsess over. I've been questioning going back to tracking that way now that I have a much better, more positive mindset. Laura says there isn't a one size fits all for fitness, so it is awesome that we have space to grow and learn things that work for us. Yes. And so like, and I don't coach nutrition. That's just something I don't want to do right now. But I'm very open to now I'm testing the keto life, because I want to see how my body responds. And I'm very open to talking about it on my Instagram story, just like personal, but it's not like, it's just like, oh, this might really work for me. It might not. So like owning the way you want to eat, owning the way that you want to work out, owning the way fitness works for you in your life is just so powerful as a woman, because how many of you have fallen before into the trap of having to follow something and it be like the god of all fitness trends, and you just had to do it. And then you realize halfway through that you hate it, but you feel like you're stuck in it because it's like the trend. This is what CC is breaking that idea that you have to do a certain thing or it's not good enough. No, this is about you figuring out what feels good for you and being intuitive with fitness, but also reaching your goals, because you can do it in that way. You absolutely can. So really honoring the way you feel, the way you show up for yourself, what feels good, and being part of it. Erica says, I'm all for trying new things and seeing what works and what doesn't. Yeah. And that's a beautiful part of life. Like, try it. You might fall in love with it. Try it. Might not work for you, right? In fitness, in food, in job positions, in anything in life. How do we know until we try? We really don't. Samantha says, yep. And then I felt so much shame for when I felt the need to break from a raw vegan diet. I had to learn for myself not to be so restrictive, but feared breaking from each diet I tried and what others would think. And it goes back to thinking too, no one is really watching you. Like, no one is like, oh, she fell off the diet. Like, it's more so judgment of ourselves. So being honest with yourself and how you feel is so key. I don't follow anymore, like, what are the diet trends and things. So I don't even know what's still out there. I've come to a place where it's like, I do what feels good. I eat what feels good. I train in a way that makes me feel good. And that is a place where I hope that you all get to just feel freaking good, to feel good in what you're doing and not feel like you need to do a certain thing because it's cool, but just do what feels good and take that further into your life. Your job should feel good. Your relationships should feel good. Your hobbies should feel good. And the moment they don't, we have the power to be like, oh, I don't want to do that, right? Decisiveness, owning your independence, absolutely. So right now, we're like 40 minutes, going on 40 minutes in. How, for those of you who are live, how do you feel so far being a weekend CC, whether it's your first round, whether it's a new round? What is the vibe? What's your energy? How are you feeling? Are there any questions coming up around anything? Where in your life do you want to improve besides the gym and besides your fitness? Are you noticing a difference already in a week just because of new habits? What's coming up? And I'm just going to pretend everyone's typing big paragraphs right now. Katie says, I feel good. My core feels tighter already. Michelle, most motivation I've ever felt in any rounds of CC. Oh my God. Why? What changed? Do you notice something that changed, Michelle? Jess says, I feel really good. It's hard for me to recognize if it's because of trying something new or because I'm super passionate about it. So we will see in a few weeks. Maybe it's both. Maybe you are really passionate about it and you're motivated because it's new. That's amazing. Yes, yay, Michelle. Alexis says, great. I'm loving the new community and seeing everyone's posts. I've been working on increasing my weights this round, and I have been feeling really strong. That's incredible. I love it. Jesse says, I'm really excited. I'm loving the mindset. As Steph knows, I have lots of changes going on and haven't been in the gym as much as originally planned, but I have a new goal, and I'm so motivated. I'm excited for your new goal. I'm excited, and you're welcome to share all the things when you are ready to share all the things. Feeling weak from increasing weights and also busier work days, I will keep going. So when you are increasing weights, you're going to feel weak because it's like, oh my God, this is heavy. And you're used to it before. So don't look at it like a bad thing, like, oh my God, I feel weak. It's like you're getting stronger because of it. So that's just your body adapting. So keep going, Celine, keep going. The goal this time around is different than the last times. My goal is to go that extra step, push myself, do the extra rep. Whereas the other times it was more of a body goal. Oh, Michelle, I love that. Push yourself. That whole new vibe, I feel that. I love it. My mindset shifted last round, so feeling more motivated as well. Sarah says, I'm happy to do gym every day, but don't know if I lift enough. Maybe it's too light. So this is in the guide, and this is when I said read the guide, but I'll say it. If it's too light, say the reps are like do 10 reps, and you do 10 and you feel like you can do 20, it's too light. The goal is the last 2 reps of the set should feel like that's challenging, but you can do it. Does that make sense? So if it's, say, 6 reps or 8 reps or whatever the rep range is, the last 2 reps should feel challenging, but you can still do it. If you can keep going 100 million times, then you need to up the weight. Definitely good. I've been focused on how to work on my pull-ups every day, even if I don't gym every day. No, I can't do 20. Well, I was over dramatic when I said 20. If you could do like 15, even like go up the next weight. I feel stronger. I think my boobs and stomach pooch are starting to shrink more. I notice I'm committed mentally, even though the intense discomfort, so many things going on lately. And that's just part of the process. Absolutely. So I love that, Erica, I'll read yours in a second. I love how everyone's kind of complements each other, how you're feeling, whether it's like a fitness goal, a body goal, how you're feeling mentally, the mindset shifts that a lot of people are saying has happened since last round. Definitely huge. I thought I just heard someone. Maybe not. Okay. Erica says, no, someone is unmuted. Oh, Sabrina. There we go. It's all good. Erica says, seeing as this is my first round, I was very intimidated by going to the gym this past week and was rather overwhelmed by being on social media a lot. I went on a hiatus and made sure I covered the material before I started. I really needed this live and all these positive vibes after the funk I'd been in heading to the gym. Everyone give Erica this like happy positive vibe dance. I'm so excited. And I just see you now and I like your scrunchie. I love it. Is that from the CC Summit? Ashley says, I love seeing the new girls and the vibes start again, even though I'm finishing up last CCC. It's so refreshing this week to see everyone and motivating. Yes, everyone's giving Erica the vibes. Yeah. And so when people refer to CCC, it's like the up level program. So there's a whole new program after CC if you choose to do it. And Ashley's one of those girls. So it's like more of a powerlifting style, but this community and this vibe is still so much part of no matter what workout you're doing. And the mindset work and meeting the new girls, like Ashley said, and the new energy and seeing the new posts is really, really cool and fun. And to keep this momentum up, a lot of people start a program and are all in and are posting and are updated and are on the live things, and then it goes down. So remember this vibe. Hold on to this vibe. And it's something that I'll try and do as a coach in the groups, like keep it high. This is why the calls will be up high. But, be consistent, even if it's just posting like, hey, I went today, I don't have a video or a picture, but it felt really good. Or, be present, be excited, make friendships, be here on the calls, ask questions. It's part of how you show up. And that's kind of what I was referring to earlier. How you show up in one way, how you show up in others, and how you show up at the beginning of something, how you show up at the end of something is huge too. We're excited at the start. Let's keep the momentum high throughout the middle and all the way through. And it's going to be high because this goes to my wedding day. It's in 3 months. And oh my God. So it's got to be high because I've got to be excited for my wedding. So it's all the vibes. Okay. Are there any other things coming up? All the high vibes, Laura says. I really just wanted to set the tone because I know the live I was sick. I wanted to, you're 36 days away from Lindsay. Oh my God, from getting married. Everyone's getting married. It's amazing. Set the tone. Notice how fitness and your habits and consistency relate to other aspects of your life. That's really what I want you to do, is notice how it enhances your life, your mood, your energy, how it makes you feel, your confidence, your body image, everything. I can always just post the dance video on days I have nothing to share. I love it. Sabrina says, I actually went to the gym before 5 a.m. today. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Ashley's like, yes, please do that. So fun. All the dance videos. Yeah. And that's a huge thing. Like going to the gym at a time that you're like, would have usually made an excuse. Like, oh, it's 7. I can't go tonight. Go. Notice how good you feel. Or, oh, I've got to get up really early because I can't go later. And you're like, oh my God, then you have to get up at like 4 a.m. Go. And it's not even just about going and doing the workout. It's going and knowing you can do something that is different than your regular routine. And it's not the end of the world and it's not awful. You can still do it. So that's resiliency. That's grit. That's commitment. That's passion. That's showing up for yourself. That's like saying, will this get to my goal? Yes, it will. I will do it. That kind of thing. Always switching times can be super informative. I never used to wake up early and went once because I couldn't sleep and discovered morning 6 a.m. is my most productive gym time. Yes, that's such a good point. So sometimes and again, it depends on the flexibility of your life, but you might just always think, oh, I'll have to go at 4 o'clock after work or at 5 o'clock after work, but maybe you have more energy and have killer workouts in the morning. So it's all about trial and error. Or maybe you've been like busting your ass to get up at 4 and your 5 a.m. workouts suck because you think you're going to be tired at the end of the day, but actually the end of the day is like your magic time. So don't be afraid to change it and see how you feel. you might find a time that feels better in the gym, feels better energy-wise. So that's a really good point. Absolutely. Okay. Any other questions right now? I live down the street from my gym and a gym in my complex. No excuse now. Nuh-uh. I thought early morning was best for me before my mindset possibly goes down and while the gym is empty. But now with the, and then it ends. It's a mindset thing. Going to the gym at a certain time is usually a mindset thing. Like, oh, I have to go at this time. Doing the challenge with the noon classes. I like noon more. And there you go. You figure it out. So be open to experimenting with gym time. Super cool. All right. Are there any questions, things coming up right now? Good turnout. I will post within the next week when our next call will be. If you want if you're itching to talk about something, if you're itching to talk about anything from fitness to body image to confidence to life stuff to mindset to money to business to advice to anything, I'm open for topics deviating away from the gym. Okay. So don't be afraid to if things come up like, oh, I would love a training on this. I want to give you guys what you're itching for. So we can start a feed, like list the things that you want to talk about. And that can always be a good way. Sometimes I do these like Q&As. So for a week, I'll say, post all your questions and I'll come on and answer them. So we'll have fun with it. More than anything, like I know I did it for Erica, it's the energy, it's the community, it's the feeling that brings us together. That's so key and part of what CC is. So I'm so excited. This is literally just the beginning. It's been a week and it's going to be a really, really fun 3 months. Okay, guys? So thank you for being live. Thank you for watching the replay. I will see you in the group. Have a fabulous rest of your day or night or midnight or whatever time it is for you guys. You are so welcome. I will see you all soon.